Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So good morning on a bright, very sunny morning. It is not only sunny but quite a good one because I've lost more weight, and that's always to be celebrated. And my other channel, Rocksteady, it's its birthday. Yeah, it's his birthday. I might celebrate its birthday by doing a giveaway. How about that? What shall I give away? Ooh, let's see. I'll do that tomorrow. When I do, maybe. I might do it today. We'll see. You have to check it out. Yeah, Rocksteady has a birthday. Well, I don't know how long, but I didn't check it out. It just said your podiversary, so I thought, well, I can't let that go by. I've got a bit of a today. I don't know why. Probably the weather. Very dry. Very dry. So let's do the joke before I forget. So I'll have to remember now to bring the other joke book in here, unless I can sort out some kind of rig in there. What kind of snakes are good at maths? Adders. We see that's our only snake that's like a bad news snake in this country. We don't really have, unless, you know, people start bringing in exotic pets and letting them out, and as our weather gets warmer that might change. But for now, the only bitey snake that matters in this country is an adder. Not that you get to see that many adders unless you're roaming around grasslands and, you know, woodlands and stuff like that. But I think I've never seen an actual adder. I did see, well, Michael brought one home as a child, like this massive snake, and he said, can we keep it? And I looked at it, and it had the markings of an adder, but it didn't have the head of one. It had the head of a cobra. So I was like, just put it in that. We had this big fish tank that was empty. Put it in that tank. And I called like the RSPCA and said, we've got a snake and I don't know what it is. So I said, we will come and have a look at that, because, you know, it did sound like an adder. But when they came, they said it's not. It actually does look all of the markings of an adder, but the head's wrong. So whether it had bred, or somebody had this snake from somewhere else, but they took it anyway because it was, you know, dodgy. Well, he didn't get bitten, so that was all right. But yeah, he used to bring home all sorts. But we had this. I've never really seen an actual adder, only that kind of possible adder. But, you know, maybe it had crossed with something that didn't bite you and it didn't no longer bite. I don't know. What do I know about snake breeding? I know more about pigeons. If you like watch me for a while, you know that a lot of pigeon naughtiness goes on outside my window on the wires. It's kind of a bit of a, oh hello, what are they up to? That sort of thing. It's the birds and the bees, I suppose. After all. Gonna be very hot today. Absolutely ridiculously scorching. So I came in here quite early to do my videos, and plus I wanted to spray spider stuff in the house because yesterday, you won't believe this, right? I was working at the computer in here because, well, there was people in the house, so I couldn't really film. And plus, you know, the camera's gone a bit wafty in there. So, wafty, that's a word. I'm not sure if it's a real word, but it became a word that was used in my family, so I'm not sure if wafty is a real one, but it just means obviously a bit. Anyway, as I was working on the computer and looking out the window, uploading my very late videos yesterday, because of, you know, I did explain on that video, I won't do it again. But as I was looking out the window, I saw this little spider outside in a web going past the window like this. And when I looked, there was another one, and I thought, what's going on? So as I went outside, there was a whole nest of spiders that had hatched, all attached to the Yarnavan, and I'm not sure that they can't get in. So I did give them a bit of a spray up, and thankfully they're not there anymore. But I thought I'm going to come out with the actual spider spray, because funnily enough, the fly killer we've got is useless for flies, but it does kill spiders, which, you know, is a bonus, but it chokes you. Anyway, might be why I'm this morning. Perhaps I've been choked by my own sprays, but I was careful just to like cover my face when I did it this morning. But yesterday I was so incensed by seeing all these spiders. I thought, oh, they're not going to find their way inside. There's just no way. So I took care of those. So I had a bit of a spray up in the house as well. And then thought, right, get out here quick where there's no choking fumes. And so that's what I've done. Here I am. I'm starving, actually, because I haven't had breakfast yet. And, well, I can't do that until the, the spider spray fumes die down. Oh, I don't know. It's spider season, apparently. That's what I've been told by a child. It's like, you know, it's spider season. I went, is it really? I thought all the time it was spider season. I didn't know they had an actual season. That's really out of order. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's a thing, but if it is, it's getting sprayed. You know, don't want it. No. Ugh. Ugh. No. And actually, I have to say, all of my relatives, nieces, and everything have been putting on pictures of spiders that they've found in the house. So yeah, maybe it is. So I thought, before they appear, I'm going to spray. You never know. They might not appear then. I live in hopes. I think they're false hopes, but you know, I live in hope. Yeah, I went to the cinema yesterday. It was actually a really good film. I kind of recommend it. I did say that yesterday, didn't I? But you might not have seen it because it come up late. We went to see the Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington. Not that he was with us, he was on the film. But it was brilliant. I actually really, really enjoyed it. And as a third one in a trilogy, if you like, usually they get a little bit worse, don't they? And a little bit, oh, really, again? You know, but no, this was actually, Gary said it was the best one of the three. So obviously, that's high praise coming from Gary, to be honest with you. But we did see a trailer for the new Exorcist movie, and it looks absolutely amazing. It really does. I'm not a horror fan, but I think the Exorcist 1 was the first horror film I ever saw when I was younger. It blew everyone away, didn't it? It was kind of box office smash. Because before that, horror films were, you know, pretty what's the word, kitsch, yeah. Cult sort of, Hammer, you know, Vincent Price. That kind of horror film. There weren't that really many good ones, you know, not on today's standards. But yeah, it looks pretty good, so I know I'm going to get to see that one, you know, and be terrified out of my wits for a while. Yeah, so, and there's also another film that Gary wants to see, the Indian one. It's bad calling them Indians, isn't it? Because they're not Indian. But I think that's what they were called when they first landed in America, but Native Americans. One with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. So, yeah, we're going to go and see that, I think. If we can, if Gary's shifts work out while it's still on and that sort of thing. So, I don't even think it's there yet. But yeah, there's not. He said, oh, they're not making many good movies at the moment, are they? And I said, well, it's highly likely that they won't for quite some time if the strike carries on. But, you know, not a good time to have cinema cards, I wouldn't have thought. But they are showing, in readiness for this film, a Martin Scorsese, I don't know if it's a fortnight or what they're doing, but they're doing all of his films, one after the other, so if you've got the chance to go and see all of those at the cinema rather than the TV, which is normally where they are now. So I'm looking around at all my yarn, and it is rather congested in here right now. So I've got all those new boxes which now live here because, you know, that big fat yarn, this stuff, it's not got anywhere to go, so it's staying in the boxes because it fills these two boxes completely. And I figured, well, I just don't have, even if I was to not babble away in the corner, but even if I was to undo some of these plastic boxes that I've got, you know, and sell all that yarn, or, you know, remove all that yarn, I would only get about 2 of those in there. So I don't mean 2 balls, I mean 2 packs, or maybe 3 at a pinch, because they're so big that if you can imagine, that's how tall two rows would be. I wouldn't get a third in without really squashing it down. So they're going to have to stay in the box. I haven't really got much choice. But that's not too bad a thing if I didn't have all these other boxes of yarn. And a lot of it is mystery box yarn and yarn bundles, the Poundland stuff that I put in my shop under. It's called Knitting Essentials, guys, if you ever want to find it, because it's not called Poundland. But it's yarn bundles, but I tend to do those for overseas rather than the UK. I've got the aircon on, but up this end it doesn't tend to, even though it's sort of middle, it's more up that end. Yeah, it's not exactly middle, but it doesn't really reach me. It does down there, which is nice, but I do have my fan, so I've got even more noise. Sorry about that. Oh, that's lovely. It's going to be one of those days to avoid going out, you know. We've got lots of, because the weather, it will attract everybody with a caravan around here, which is, we've got probably about 10 caravan parks. We've got 2 major size ones, 3 big ones in our vicinity, but then further up the road there's lots and lots of small ones. Lots, probably more than 10 to be honest with you. And now the children are back at school, they're not here all the time. I mean, obviously people don't, well, some do come down for the whole holiday, but you can't get time off work like that. So they come down in stages, but you know, there's so many of them that it's always busy. So yeah, and then they tend to come back at weekends if they can't be here all the time. But this will be kind of the last really good weather, because we haven't really had a great summer, so they'll be flocking here to enjoy the last good weather. So I'm staying in. It's like not even going to bother with the supermarket, because it's just going to be rammed, absolutely rammed. Plus as soon as Gary gets home, I know exactly what he'll be doing. He'll be watching the Rugby World Cup, because he does love a bit of rugby. He likes the Six Nations rugby and he likes the World Cup, but he doesn't really watch all of the rugby. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't watch club rugby. He just likes to watch England. And that World Cup starts at 11 and it's on all the way to the evenings. So yeah, that's going to be what Gary's doing. You never know, I might even get to do a film, my giveaway then, so I won't want to sit watching that all the time. Or do some crochet with the aircon on. Do you know, I went into a live stream, went into Granny D's, and then we went to Kelly's and she was cooking. And so I could have like gone off and gone to bed, but I thought, no, I'll stick with this. And she was making chicken, oh my god, what was it called? Adobo, chicken adobo. It's a Philippine recipe. And so I stuck with that and watched that live stream. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Nah, it's gone out of my head. But that's what I did with my evening last night. I could have crocheted, I could have done some swatches, but I thought, no, I'll just go and socialise while I had the opportunity. So that was quite nice. And I didn't know Kelly, well, I was signed in as Rocksteady because I was working on the computer and doing something on that channel. So when I watched the live, that's the channel I was on. So and she didn't know at the time that I was Crochet Rocks, so I told her, oh, I know you, yeah. But it was kind of, it was nice to do something different. I did think the actual recipe itself, I could try it on Gary, because it is, you know, don't have to make it carby, but it's kind of a very tangy chicken. I'm not sure if I'll really, because it's a lot of vinegar. And what was the other thing? Soy. Now it'd be salty and tangy, like vinegary and salty. And it must be nice, really, but I don't know if all that vinegar is good for the diet or not, and soy, because I think they might have carbs in, or to be used sparingly, that sort of thing. I can't remember now. I'll have to research it a bit more before I think about trying it out on him. But I've been thinking about new recipes and things I can make to make it a little bit more interesting without knocking us out of our ketosis, of course. But Gary, I think he's been a bit kind of enthused, is the word, because, you know, people have noticed his weight loss. So that's always a good sign when people notice it's, you know, and everybody's noticing the fact that I don't have so much chin. So that's good. And it's, you know, it gives you kind of inspiration to carry on. That's the word I'm looking for, a bit of inspiration. So we all need that, don't we? Oh, God, it's so hot out there. And it's kind of stuffy, you know, dry. It's weird, really, because we've had an awful summer. Now it's sort of traditionally the time when it gets cold. We've got the, like, little last hurrah of absolute scorching weather. That's England for you, I suppose. We've been spoilt of late, you know, the last 3 or 4 years, maybe. Or even not, yeah, 3 or 4 years, I'd say. You know, when we had when the pandemic first hit, that was the amazing summer for us. It went from springtime all the way through. So even though it was hot, because it was hot from the spring, you kind of got acclimatized. So it didn't feel bad. It didn't feel like, oh, this is awful or anything, because you had it every day, you know, and it was kind of it became normal. But what happens in this country is it's abysmal, and then it's baking, you know, and that's too much. It's the stark contrast. It doesn't ever give you time to acclimatise to it, you know, before wham, there you go, have a bit of microwaving, you know. That's traditionally how this country works. It's like, oh look, it's cold, it's raining, let's get my coat on. Phew, I'm hot now, you know. It's just ridiculous. We're fickle, and our weather is very fickle. Today then, apart from doing my winners videos, which you know, are today, new giveaway tomorrow, I will, I don't know, maybe find something wonderful to cook for Gary and myself, obviously, and maybe do some swatches. I want to do some of the fat yarn. I've got fat yarn, you know, the super chunkies and stuff like that, and see how they work up, because I've got King Cole quartz and a few others that I've never used, and I've always thought I'm going to swatch that and see what that looks like. And yeah, I think I might do that. I want to make a hat. I want to make a chunky hat this year, and I've got plenty of hats, which my severed head collection, Model Lovely, there they are. But yeah, I don't have as many as I'd like, different weights of yarn. Plus, I always, you know, keep getting asked to do baby booties to match my baby gloves that I did my mittens. Baby gloves, mittens, Trace. And yeah, so I keep getting asked to do those, and I actually did a whole bootie once, like whole shoe, and ready to do the second one on camera, and didn't do it, and I forgot how I made it. So it's like, oh, I have to do that all over again. It's like that poinsettia square. I can't remember how I did it. If only I'd written it down, or did it the first time I, you know, recorded it straight away. I've forgotten how I did it. I will work it out, but it's, when I tried to work it out, it didn't want to know. You know, it's like when things don't want to know, you know, like when your hair won't go. It's so frustrating, isn't it? You know, you can do your hair one time and it'll look absolutely amazing. Like the last time I washed my hair, not this time, the last time, it went really, really nice. It was almost straight, so all I had to do was get the straighteners out and finish it off. And it was soft. When I straightened it, it didn't have odd ends, you know, it had nice, sleek ends. It was perfect. Washed my hair this time, frizz ball. It's the humidity, I know, but frizz ball. And so hence, it's in this. Yes. Out the way. Plus, you know, when it's really, really hot, the last thing you want is here. You know, to be honest with you, it's just all hot and wet underneath and that. So it's time to get rid of it and tightly and make sure it's not coming out to tickle your face or anything. Nothing worse. Okay, well, I'm going to get off because I'm babbling away in the corner and got breakfast to make and I'm starving. So I'm going to go and do that. Thank you for watching. And I will see you on the next one. Watch out for the winners and anything else that might pop up. And rock steady. We'll do a giveaway. I don't know if it'll be, well, I don't have a clue what it'll be, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.